Today I'd like to demo something that it's a Christmas present that I made for my little niece. And this is something I call the Insanity Box. It's a circuit vent noisemaker. Um, this is just it's a cigar box, and it's got 3 speakers in here. There's 3 noisemaker circuits that come out of Fisher-Price toys. I like to go to resale stores, Goodwill and Salvation Army. We've got 2 Goodwill stores by our house and Salvation Army, and then so I've really been just hitting those. You know, resale stores are great. You just got to try to find one that has electronics and toys. But sometimes you'll run into it'll just be all you know, women's clothes and stuff like that. It'll be a waste of your time. And over here anyway, the Goodwill is a lot cheaper when it comes to the toys and the electronics, and it's also a higher quality than the Salvation Army. But you never know. I mean, the one Goodwill store, it's kind of messy. The electronics are a little more money. The one that's more organized is cheaper. And then like the Salvation Army is, I mean, it's ridiculous. There's a $40 item and then identical item for $12.50, and the $40 item was filthy. So I ended up buying the $12.50 one, and you know, it's a set of Altec Lansing speakers that I still, you know, an old one, ACS 295. They're fantastic. But anyway, back to this contraption here. Basically, what it is it's a Fisher-Price activity thing for toddlers, and there's a button on it. It's got 6 C batteries, and then there's a blower, there's a fan blower, and there's plastic tubing, and I think ping pong balls run through this thing and fly around. There's a circular dish on the top of it, and it plays songs when you press that, and every time, if you keep pressing the button, produces sound effects. So I got 2 of those for 49 cents each, and both of them had the C batteries in them. There was 12 C batteries I got, and I'm pretty sure one of the sets was like 1.5 volts still. The other one was like 1.37 or something. So it was a fantastic deal. And then these are the Radio Shack momentary contact switches, which surprisingly they actually they redesigned these switches, or they're from a different manufacturer. The old ones was a 1-piece plastic actuator, and they used to snap off. Now it's a 2-piece, and they're a little bit higher quality. I think it's $2 and you get 4 of them. But I guess we're gonna take a break here for a minute. I mean, I guess I won't really get into too much detail about the fancy paint job. I cut some circles out and held them up into different colors, and then this was all hand painted in here, and then I ran some poly on top of it to seal it up. But I wanted to take a break, and we can do a close-up shot, and I can show you what's going on in the inside of this piece of trash. Yeah, so what I did here for the power supply, it's actually, this came out of something else, but I used a carpet cutter, a utility knife, and a propane torch, and I just cut out one of the AA battery holders, and all 3 circuits are run off of 4 AA's now, and then I used hot glue to seal that up, to glue it down. And same thing for the mountings. What I did, I have these small wooden dowel rods. I can't remember where I garbage picked them, but I got a whole box of them, and I use them for applying flux and stuff like that. But anyway, I got a drill bit, and I drilled out and countersunk these, broke off little pieces of these larger toothpicks. It's a little larger than a toothpick diameter. And then I just globbed hot glue on them. I didn't want to, you know, run screws through there and then put rubber feet on it and all that. But my initial thought for this unit was to circuit bend each one of the modules. I was hoping to find a resistor that would control the clock, or the speed of what the device would play its music and sound effects at, and then I would eliminate that resistor and install a pot, or, you know, a volume control in there to. You could change the speed and, you know, make it go real fast and crazy, or slow. But for some reason, these 2 modules, I tried all the resistors and all the other points. I have a probe. It's wire with a small value resistor in the middle with a couple of nails on the end of it, and so you can go around and start trying to connect at all the circuit points, and I wasn't able to affect the pitch except for on this one. And when I actually did hook up a pot to this one, it didn't like it at all. I never really run into this because I've bent a lot of clocks. I do that with reverb circuits and delays all the time, and toys too, but this was the first time. It was really weird. Once I got it to speed up, it stopped slowing down, and that kept continuing. Every time I would ramp it up, it wouldn't want to slow down anymore. So what I ended up doing was trying to cut a resistor in there, and I couldn't get, trying to cut a pot in, and it ended up it wouldn't slow down at all, and rather than waste a pot, I ended up just cutting in a resistor. So basically what you have, it was a little disappointing to me, but I'm sure the kid's going to enjoy it just the same, because it is insane, as you'll hear in a second. But these two modules run normal, and then this one plays at like quadruple speed. So it does live up to its name. And then this is kind of interesting here. This is the speaker grill cloth that came out of that silver tone organ that I'm always going on and on about. We garbage picked that down the block, and I still have a bunch of parts in use out of that. The only other thing that was worth mentioning was maybe some of the really bad method that I used to mount the speakers. I think I used some dowels in here with the hot glue and a couple of different kinds of screws in here, and this is really bad. I had run out of nuts and bolts at the time, so but they're in there good. It's not going anywhere. And like I said, it's a circuit bent toy. It's not for professional use or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it'll last though. So I'm going to go ahead and box this up. I got a little set screw that holds it in place here, and then we can go ahead and have some fun with this thing. Check it out.